Magandang umaga, Pilipinas, buong mundo. Nahay, kapuso. Mayroon po ako lang around 20 minutes ng inyong oras para pag-usapan natin ang subphylum Chelicerata, one of the major divisions of the phylum Arthropoda.
Meet cephalum Chelicerata, having two main body regions, the cephalothorax and abdomen, and a pair of specialized mouthparts called chelicerae. They lack antennae, possess simple eyes, and most have for pairs of walking legs.
Since this is TWBA, we have to do fast talk. Let's do fast talk. This one is interesting. Now, what is your nickname?
Common name is Asian forest scorpion. Specifically, my scientific name is Heterometrius longimanus. It was originally described by Johann Friedrich Wilhelm Herbst in 1800s. I belong to the phylum Arthropoda, subphylum Chelicerata, class Arachnida, order Scorpionis, family Scorpiondae, and genus Heterometrus.
Introduce yourself to people watching right now, eavesdropping on this conversation, have no idea as to who you are.
Well, I want you to know that I am widely distributed across tropical Southeast Asia, with confirmed populations in Indian's Andaman Islands, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and the Philippines. In our country, we are specifically found in Palawan. So, why Southeast Asia? Well, the climate here is warm and humid, just the way I like it. You'll often find me in places with high humidity and thick vegetation, such as rainforests, tropical forests, and mangroves. Fun fact, I am a fossorial species, which means I build burrows under stones or in the soil. You will rarely find me in open or dry areas. Well, it's also because scorpions in our family are known to be sit-and-wait predators. We wait at their burrow entrances until prey comes within range, then we dash out, grab it, and retreat to consume it. We primarily feed on insects and small invertebrates, helping to control their populations. Of course, we also face natural predation ourselves. Birds, reptiles, and small mammals sometimes hunt us in the wild.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
I'd like to describe myself as helpful, yummy, and exotic. I'm helpful because my venom is actually used in medical research. According to study, my venom contains a complex mix of bioactive peptides and proteins that have evolved over millions of years. These compounds are being studied for their potential pharmaceutical applications, such as developing new drugs for cancer treatment, pain relief, and antimicrobial therapy. Not only that, I'm actually eaten in some parts of Southeast Asia. In fact, I'm a delicacy in the northeast of Thailand. I'm also fried and consumed in Shandong region of China. Lastly, I describe myself as exotic because I'm also kept as an exotic pet. According to a study, I am among the most rated scorpions in the Philippine online market, mainly for the exotic pet trade. My large size and ease of care in captivity make me highly sought after. It's actually sad that I'm often taken from the wild and kept in captivity. It shows how human fascination can sometimes come at the cost of my freedom. Anyway, I think I could say that we are helpful to humans because we provide valuable compounds for medical research and even serve as a source of food in some cultures.
And we love you.
Now let's welcome our next guest.
Let's do fast talk. This one is interesting. Now, what is your nickname?
Common name is horseshoe the scorpion. Horseshoe the scorpions belong under the phylum Arthropoda, class Arachnida, and order Scorpiones. Its scientific name is Chelicerates, and it was named by Linnaeus in 1758. You've probably never noticed it, but there's a tiny arachnid living quietly in our homes. Let's uncover where the horseshoe the scorpion hides, its role in nature, and how it's surprisingly connected to us.
Introduce yourself to people watching right now, eavesdropping on this conversation, have no idea as to who you are.
The horseshoe the scorpion, scientifically known as Chelicerates, is a cosmopolitan species, which means it's found almost everywhere humans live. It has traveled the world alongside us, settling comfortably in our homes, libraries, and even bathrooms. These creatures prefer warm, sheltered spaces such as book bindings, cracks in furniture, and under carpets. Their flat, teardrop-shaped bodies let them hide in narrow crevices, making them nearly invisible to us most of the time. And despite their small size, which is only 3 to 4 millimeters long, their long pincer-like claws can reach almost 1 centimeter when extended. Instead of stingers, they have venom glands in their claws used to capture and subdue prey. Pseudoscorpions are predators of household pests. They feed on mites, book lice, ants, and beetle larvae, helping maintain balance inside human environments. So, even though they go unnoticed, they play a big part in keeping our homes clean and pest-free.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Tiny, helpful, and harmless. Tiny because they're only a few millimeters long, but perfectly adapted to life beside us. And then helpful because they serve as natural pest control, eating tiny insects that could damage our books, clothes, or home. And then harmless because even though they have venom in their claws, they're too small to harm humans, which is completely safe. So they are like very, very safe roommates for us. So if you ever find a pseudoscorpion in your home, don't panic. They're a sign that your environment is humid and full of tiny arthropods which they feed on. So using pesticides isn't recommended since these creatures are actually beneficial. Just let them be and they'll quality keep your home's ecosystem balanced. So next time you see a tiny creature waving its claws in your bookshelf, don't panic. It's just your house pseudoscorpion saying hi and eating your pests for free. That's all from me.
And we love you.
Ayan, next up, let's say hello to our next guest.
Let's do fast talk. This one is interesting. Now, what is your nickname?
The common name is horseshoe crab. The subphylum Cephasora is a taxon of largely extinct species which lived on Earth for hundreds of millions of years. However, there are select species under the family Limulidae, first described by Leach in 1819, which have stayed relatively the same morphologically for the last 200 million years. These are the horseshoe crabs. Though there are 4 extant species of horseshoe crabs, we'll be focusing on one, Limulus polyphemus, the Atlantic horseshoe crab. First described by Linnaeus in 1758, they are the only species of horseshoe crab present within the Atlantic Ocean, hence the name.
Introduce yourself to people watching right now, eavesdropping on this conversation, have no idea as to who you are.
Their spawning grounds stretch from Florida to the Gulf of Mexico. Shallow coasts and estuarine environments are the preferred habitats for spawning due to calmer waters for better spawn protection compared to open coastline. As the L. polyphemus grows, the carapaces become a substrate for sessile organisms such as barnacles and slipper limpets. Basically, these animals attach to the shell of the horseshoe crab and act with the horseshoe crab in a commensalist relationship. However, the horseshoe crab may also fall prey to other animals, especially in the egg and larval form. For example, L. polyphemus eggs are known to be food sources for migratory shorebirds, meanwhile larvae are often prey to fish and crustaceans.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Personally, I would call horseshoe crabs pretty bloody important. It may seem surprising, but horseshoe crab blood has been heavily researched due to its surprising properties of revealing bacterial contamination. The blood of L. polyphemus contains Limulus amoebocyte lysate, or LAL, which is used as an alternative for the pyrogen test for the identification of bacterial endotoxins. This extends its use cases as an identification tool for bacterial contamination. To keep things short, the amoebocytes are lysed to release active biochemical components to reveal the bacterial endotoxins or lipopolysaccharides on the outer cell envelope of bacteria. The specific compound within the LPS is called lipid A, which reacts with the LAL. If there is detected presence of this compound, it would mean that there are bacteria within the test site. That's all.
And we love you.
Thanks!
Mga kapuso, here to join us next.
Now, what is your nickname?
Common name? Harvestman. Although most people know them as Daddy Longlegs. Phalangium apilio Linnaeus. The common harvestman, one of the most widespread representatives of the order Apiliones. Scientifically speaking, they belong to the subphylum Arachnida and the order Apiliones. First described by Sandoval in 1833 and later refined by Curry in 2013. As of 2013, there are about 6,534 living species grouped into 4 suborders, namely Cyphothalmi, Aeupnoi, Dyspnoi, and Laniatores.
Introduce yourself to people watching right now, eavesdropping on this conversation, have no idea as to who you are.
Meet the harvestman, a small yet remarkable arachnid found on every continent except Antarctica. Its range stretches from the Arctic Circle to the southern tropics, though it thrives best in warm, humid environments. Most species like the Phalangium opiliolineus live close to the forest floor, hiding under leaf litters, soil, or tree barks to stay cool and moist. Others have adopted special habitats like cave, where they've developed longer legs and lost their eyes and pigmentation, perfect for surviving in total darkness. As generalist feeders, they hunt or scavenge small arthropods, worms, snails, and even decaying matter. By doing this, they recycle nutrients and keep the forest ecosystem healthy and balanced.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
For me, I think 3 words that best describe the harvestmen are resilient, sensitive, and essential. Resilient because they can thrive not just in forests but also in urban parks and gardens. Tiny survivors among us. Sensitive because they respond quickly to changes in temperature, humidity, vegetation, and especially pollution. In fact, areas near the Middle Ural copper smelter have seen the complete disappearance of harvestmen due to heavy emissions. And finally, essential, because they serve as bioindicators, silent witnesses that reflect the health of the environment, helping scientists seek biodiversity and pollution levels. And that's all. The harvestmen may not harvest crops, but they do harvest attention once you know its story.
And we love you.
Up next, we have our next special guest.
What is your nickname?
The common name is black-legged ticks, but they also go by deer ticks. Scientifically, they also go by Ixodes scapularis, first described by Say back in 1821. They're under the class Arachnida, under the order Ixodida.
Introduce yourself to people watching right now, eavesdropping on this conversation, have no idea as to who you are.
Geographically, deer ticks are mainly found in North America, where the climate there gives them the perfect conditions to thrive. They can be found in areas where deer are most common, and while they're mainly found in the US, they can also be found in parts of Mexico and Canada. They can live in many environments, but generally they thrive in warm and humid environments, primarily to help avoid drying out, and so that they can find their next host by questing. Despite their small size, ticks also play quite a large role in the food web. As disease vectors, they can help control animal populations through the diseases they transmit, which can kill off weaker members of a species, preventing overpopulation and promoting natural selection. On the other hand, some birds, small insects, and mammals and reptiles regularly use ticks as a food source. In this way, they naturally help control the tick population.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
If I were to describe deer ticks in 3 words, it would be parasitic, dangerous, and influential. Deer ticks and ticks in general are parasitic because they rely on a blood meal from their host to survive and reproduce, offering no benefit in return and mostly harming the host through the diseases they transmit. They are dangerous because of the diseases they transmit. Some serious diseases include Lyme disease, anaplasmosis, and babesiosis, which can affect humans, pets, and livestock, and at times it can be life-threatening if left untreated. Lastly, ticks are influential. Despite their small size, they have quite a large impact on animal populations, and at times this can lead to severe economic losses. As a result, some public health practices have been shaped around ticks, like wearing long sleeves or using wood chip barriers to avoid exposure to them, especially in high-risk areas. Overall, despite their small
Next up, palakpakan naman po tayo. Say hello to our next hayop.
Let's do fast talk. What is your nickname?
Okay, so the common name is Ishmite, and scientifically it belongs to the species Sarcoptes cabe, first described by de Geer in 1778. This is a microscopic arachnid under the order Sarcoptiformes, known infamously for causing scabies in humans and animals.
Introduce yourself to people watching right now, eavesdropping on this conversation, have no idea as to who you are.
Hi there, I'm Sarcoptes scabiei, also known as H-mite, and while you might not see me, I might have already met your skin. You can find my kind on every continent, except probably in Antarctica, because we live mostly on tropical or warm, humid regions, especially in overcrowded or impoverished areas, where sanitations and healthcare are limited. We don't usually live in desert climates, but when there's people and warmth, we're right at our home. Our habitat, the outer layer of skin, particularly in thin areas like the wrist, hands, and between the fingers. That's where I usually burrow to feed, live, and lay eggs. I spread mainly through direct skin-to-skin contact. No wings, just persistence. As for my role in the food web, I don't really have many predators, but being buried under your skin helps. But infestations can weaken animals, making them easier prey for others. In that sense, I indirectly influence the balance of ecosystems.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
I would say persistent, itchy, and neglected. Persistent is because I've been with humans for centuries now, and in fact, the earliest record that sounds like scabies can be found in the book of Leviticus. And from ancient times to now, I've learned to adapt and survive alongside you, and that's a proof that I am not going anytime soon. Second is itchy. I think this one's a bit obvious because when I burrow into your skin, your immune system freaks out, and that allergic reaction causes an unbearable itch that keeps you up all night. And the more that you scratch me, the more of my kind that you spread. And finally, neglected because despite how common scabies is, it's often overlooked. And in 2017, the World Health Organization even listed scabies as one of the neglected tropical diseases. And millions suffer every year, mostly in overcrowded, impoverished areas where access to treatment and sanitation is limited. So, while I might be microscopic, my presence reveals something much bigger. It shows how health, poverty, and inequality are interconnected. And it's not just an itch under your skin. I'm not just an itch under your skin. I'm a reminder of world's ongoing fight for better public health and living conditions. So, if you're feeling itchy after this, don't worry, it's just me saying hello.
We've got someone special joining next. My lovely Kambal.
Let's do fast talk. This one is interesting. Now, what is your nickname?
Common name is Carolina wall spider. My government, aka scientific name, is Hogna carlinensis, with a taxon authority by Falconer 1805.
Introduce yourself to people watching right now, eavesdropping on this conversation, have no idea as to who you are.
Us Carolina wall spiders are one of the most widespread spider species in North America. You can find me crawling just about in South Carolina, Kansas, the Great Lakes states, and even in the drier deserts of the Southwest. I'm not particular where I live because I live in flat open spaces from grassy fields to the edges of deserts, and these are because my long legs and sharp eyesight can make me an excellent hunter. I'm able to chase down prey rather than just relying on my web. In the food web, of course, I play a big role. I can help control populations of insects, and at the same time, I'm part of the diet for birds, lizards, and wasps. So, I guess I keep nature balanced from both ends. Interestingly enough, my spiderlings also that stay close to their mother early and or develop better hunting skills and even bigger brains are proof that good parenting exists even in the spider world.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
If I were to describe myself in 3 words, I'd say misunderstood, beneficial, and definitely resilient. I'm often feared, but I'm actually your silent pest controller, just like I said. I can help keep cockroaches and other insects in check. And I'm misunderstood, I guess, because I may look scary, but I'm actually helpful because I can reduce pests. Useful spiders can remind us that even in the most feared creatures, you can find that they can still play an important role and positive role in our shaped environment. So I guess the next time you see a Carolina wall spider, don't scream and just say thanks. I'm the only roommate who can eat your mosquitoes for free.
And we love you.
Wow, what a lineup of guests we've had today. From the mighty Asian forest scorpion to the spiders, each one showing just how diverse and dynamic the subphylum Chelicerata truly is. They may differ in size, shape, and lifestyle. Some live in deep forests, some in our homes, and some even under our skin. But all of them share one thing: adaptation. Through their unique body structures, ecological roles, and even their connections to us humans, they remind us that survival isn't just about power, it's about purpose and balance. At the end of the day, whether it crawls, stings, or simply hides, every chelicerate has its own story to tell, one that keeps the ecosystem and even us in check. I'm Boy, and this has been Fast Talk Subphylum Chelicerata Edition.